God, all they had to do was do it right. It could have been so awesome. They didn't even need to do fucking 2 hours of it. It could have been 15 minutes long. As long as they fucking showed a bus full of people. You saw a bus full of fucking people transform into a robot and all the fucking blood, you just heard screams and glass breaking and my child, you know. It could be 15 minutes long. You would leave the theater, you would pay again to see it. Right away, because it's bold. You're like, that's what I've always wanted to see. I've always wanted to see someone killed in the middle of a transformation and shit. But instead, they give you fucking 2 hours of Shia LaBeouf. But that ain't for us, man. That's for some audience that appreciates it. And someone out there, and maybe even somebody in this room, thinks that's the best movie they ever saw. And that's totally fine. That's valid. Absolutely valid. It just means, though, that the fucking pool of money that they save for, like, stuff that you haven't seen before gets smaller and smaller because tried and true is a smart business investment. And I hate to break it to you, but that's not the arts community out there. It's called show business. All they're interested in is turning a profit, man, and being able to live in nice houses and fucking being able to eat at a really good restaurant and shit like that. The glamour of the movie business. So they're gonna concentrate on that kind of shit. If you wanna see movies that you relate to or good shit, you gotta make it now. You gotta fill that hole. I mean, when I started, that's the only reason I started. Because I was used to watch movies and be like, oh, I love these. I love movies. Watching movies beat playing sports. Because you sweat when you play sports. My problem is I sweat when I fucking breathe, so I didn't want to add to it and whatnot. But there came a point where I was watching movies and going like, man, I don't recognize anybody on the screen. And that is to say, I don't identify with anybody. Like, it's great to watch and escapist fun and shit. And, like, I certainly don't want to identify with fucking like Jabba the Hutt or something like that, but you watch movies, you're like, every once in a while it'd be nice to see myself represented up there. Like, you know, I love the Die Hard series of movies. Love John McClane. But I can't identify with John McClane because I would never shoot somebody. I would never jump off a building. I would never even take my shirt off in public. Yes, you don't want to see these moves. And plus, if they get out, my only move, the first thing, once I see my own nipple, I have to go for the... I'm very girly like that. When I was young, that's what I assumed all women did with their boobs when they were little. Because that's what I would do, just... Suck that, as George said, I would never leave the house. So anyway, I looked and I was just like, man, there's nothing up there that I see that's representative or indicative of me and my friends, so I'm gonna make something. It's all about me and my friends. I saw Reservoir Dogs, and Quentin had kind of kicked the door open a little bit, in as much as first scene in Reservoir Dogs, which is a movie about a, bank heist, as we all know, they're just sitting around talking about fucking Like a Virgin. And I was like, you're kidding me. Like, this counts now? Like, this can be movie dialogue? Because apparently I make movies all the time with my friends. This is what we do. We sit around talking about shit as inane as this. And, oh, I see, he went into a movie after that. That's his opening scene. But what if you made a whole movie full of scenes like that? Without the bank heist, you know? So when I sat down and started writing my flick, I was just like, you know what, this may be the only one I ever do, but that dude fucking made a movie where he talked about a Madonna song. I'm gonna talk about fucking Star Wars, I'm gonna talk about hockey, I'm gonna talk about eating pussy and fucking dead people in bathrooms. I'm gonna put something up there that I'm gonna look at and be like, that's me and that's my friends, as sick as it may be. And we did, man, and fucking boom, all of a sudden there it was. And I was like, yeah, there's a movie, you wanna go see this movie, Clerks? Because it was a flick that I could fucking like watch with my friends and be like, that's us and whatnot. So, go out and do it, man. I mean, right now, it's it's never been more ripe time since fucking like the early 90s for independent cinema to break through again. Independent cinema broke through, as it always does, gets co-opted, and then fucking goes back underground, and then gets discovered again. It's a cycle that happens in any walk of life, in many arts, in sports, in religion, and in the Matrix, over and over again. This has all happened before, as they say on Battlestar Galactica. It will all happen again. Now, you be the next guy. You be the guy, and I can hear it in your voice, dude. It's just like, why do they keep why are they raping my child? And you're angry. That's the place where I worked from in the beginning. Go out and make the flick, man. Make your flick that they're not making right now. And a bunch of people in this room, I guarantee, will dig on it. Because you're here, and you must find me somewhat amusing. So do they. We have a similar sense of humor. So you gotta figure, you can draw from like 2,000 people right here if you say the right thing at the right moment. It's not about talent. Everybody is talented, particularly in the field of independent cinema, because that's all about telling your story. So there's no right, no wrong. It's all about luck and timing. You gotta say the right thing at the right moment. That's the only reason I stand here in front of you. Said that one right thing at the one right moment about Clerks and shit, about being 20-something and fucking at that particular era in time. And it was just in the moment where the world was ready to have that conversation, so they were able to be like, look at this piece of shit little indie movie called Clerks. It's just what we're talking about. Shit. And I was just like, call it whatever you want, man. Every time they mention the movie, it's a fucking boost. So people ask me all the time, hey man, how do I do what you do, and how can I have the film career you had? And I don't really have an answer for that, but I do have an answer that covers that, and it also covers this. Go out and make Clerks, because it totally worked for me. Go do it, dude. Fill the hole. Yes. Give the mic.